This is where people with really beautiful hands can kind of arouse or stimulate you too, because the 8th house has a lot to do with marriage and our fetishes and our intimate life. It also has to do with power dynamics and taxes, death, and rebirth. But that's a more deeper subject. I mean, you could also say taxes is a form of karma, but I won't get into that. However, with the 8th house being ruled by Gemini, you could really like touch, and of course with the Scorpio persona and Taurus being on your descendant, you like the whole touch and feel connection. And with Gemini ruling the 8th house, this just intensifies um, the hugs, the kisses, the touches, um, the verbiage, and the different mental connection that you have with partnerships in marriages. You definitely want someone that is intellectual and that has a curious nature to them, that wants to try out different things. That really gets you off with the Gemini ruling your 8th house, mutable air. So with the Scorpio Ascendant, your 9th house will be ruled by Cancer. So this is where, higher forms of education can be quite nurturing to you and give you a sense of strong emotional intelligence and intuition, and you can kind of feel out the healing side of philosophy and religion and spirituality. So this is where, long distance travel can be healing for you and nurturing as a Scorpio Ascendant. And also, you can feel just at home with learning higher forms of education here. And with Cancer ruling your 9th house, cardinal water, you like to initiate this for emotional recovery in a sense. So I would suggest that if you are going through something emotional, you'll get a lot of motherly love or nourishment, nurturing from delving into spirituality and higher forms of education, or a religious practice of some sort, or even getting back in touch with, different cultural aspects and cultural food, or, going on a vacation. This can bring you back to center, home, within. So with a Scorpio Ascendant, your 10th house, Midhaven, will be ruled by Leo. So at the top of your chart, fixed fire here, this is where your ambition is to really be that one to kind of pull everything together within career or what you do in the external. You have this need to really stand out in your own right and be the authority or an authority figure. So I wouldn't be surprised with whatever career path you take as a Scorpio Ascendant that you will get to a high status with Leo on top of your chart here, ruling over your 10th house, your midhaven. And you will have some form of recognition of being the mover and shaker, or the decision maker, or the overseer of your ambitions in life, what you do in the external, your job, your career, the status you have within the world. So you could also be quite the entertainer here with Leo ruling your 10th house. you will definitely stand out in the world as a force to be reckoned with, and you would make a great public figure with Scorpio Ascendant and Leo ruling over your 10th house here. So with the Scorpio Ascendant, your 11th house will be ruled by Virgo. So here, your legacy really in life is to have this selfless service, to really break out your medicine bag and create a purification amongst humanitarian efforts in order to, with mutable earth, Virgo ruling over your 11th house, in order to kind of sustain a sense of practicality here and a sense of attention to detail. So this is where your Scorpio persona really kind of gets ingrained with the nitty-gritty of what needs to be done in the world, because with Virgo ruling your 11th house here, mutable earth, it has the capability of really pinpointing humanitarian efforts in a precise, analytical way, where it gets things done and it has its checklist and it concentrates on one issue at a time in order to further along the process of a collective cleansing or purification here with Virgo ruling over your 11th house. This is also your legacy. You're leaving behind a sense of being the healer. And when I say healer, it's the healer that makes, that uses its healing in a practical sense, where it provides organization, structure, and detailed plans to responsibly and in an orderly fashion heal different stigmas within humanity. So, with the 11th house being this, connection with social media and your wishes, your desires here with Virgo, you have a really kind of a clean image here, a clean sense of what you do in the world is commendable, and this is what brings your legacy to life, is kind of just being that stand-up person that stands for something and that has the desire to make a difference in the world and for the people here with Virgo ruling over your 11th house. Definitely want to clean up humanity in a way, and you do it in a progressive manner, detailed, structured, step-by-step process. So with the Scorpio Ascendant, your 12th house will be ruled by Libra. So this is where, with Libra ruling this karmic house, the 12th, where it's at the end of the chart here, it's kind of diminishing all energy in order for it to be transmutated into the cosmos and recycled in a sense, or free up space. It's kind of coming to the end of the road, and Libra, having that balance and that moral compass psychologically, really helps your chart with the mission behind your first house rising persona sign of a Scorpio. cardinal air here ruling your 12th house, this is where you're able to kind of understand karma in a sense where how it liberates people, how it liberates lives. This is where Libra gives you the sense to rationalize what karma and dharma is within the world. And it also gives you that psychological, subconscious mind framework to have a fair logic and a clear understanding of the inner workings of the mind and of the subconscious. The 12th house also representing the house of, of losses. This is where you can come outside of yourself with Libra ruling your 12th house and really delegate the tasks to others to forge their way with a mission of balancing the scales regarding karma and regarding the subconscious realm that should be addressed amongst the collective. And what I mean by this is Libra ruling your 12th house allows you to be somewhat of a delegator and a teacher to influence the collective or influence, other leaders to help free themselves subconsciously or have some sort of peace of mind to clear out anything that is regarding some sort of karmic block within their own thinking and their own mental constructs here. And this is where the 12th house ruling over the dream realm or the psychic realm or the ethereal world, having Libra as an intuitive sign here, cardinal air, there is this wanting to kind of find the balance between the natural and the supernatural, which makes this taboo, kind of hidden, mysterious part of the chart, the 12th house, spark your interest to do what Scorpios do best and research, the supernatural and the natural. It's intriguing. And also you'll definitely feel compelled to have some sort of balance regarding institutions, whether they be hospitals, jails, insane asylums, or whatnot. You'll want to create some sort of legislation so that people can find, or these souls can be in somewhat of a place where it gives them a sense of balance to understand not just their own karma, but their own incarnation within the reality and what is making them feel constricted or confined to some of these isolated places. So that is my take on a Scorpio Ascendant rising sign, this persona. I hope that you enjoyed it, and as always, take care and love.